Jerry Jones, Dallas Cowboys owner, is 2017 NFL Hall of Fame class member. Congratulations, Jerry Jones. You really deserve it. For those of you who don't know Jerry Jones' story, he took over the Dallas Cowboys in 1993 and 1992, excuse me, and paid 140 million, just north of 140 million dollars for it. He bought the storied organization from H.R. Bum Bright, the owner. H.R. Bum Bright, in turn, had bought the Cowboys from the legendary Clint Murchison, who had owned the team since 1960. The Cowboys that Jerry Jones became owner of fell on hard times. And the major problem was that by 1990, the early 90s, they weren't winning football games. The onus of the cause of the problem was what some would consider an outmoded coaching philosophy, particularly on defense, on the part of the legendary Tom Landry, my personal hero. Landry, during the 60s and 70s, became known for, first of all, in the late 50s, creating the 4-3 defense from scratch, and then modifying it into something called the flex defense, with two of the four down linemen off the line of scrimmage, and from a way of approaching how the defense the run, create a type of zone defense against any ball carrier's attempt to advance beyond the line of scrimmage. The problem is that because offensive linemen became basically bigger and faster, for a time much stronger than their defensive line counterparts, drive blocking them off the line became, the defensive line people off the line became, well, something that was quite a common strategy. And if you have a defense that is giving ground, if you have two of your four down linemen basically 1 yard off the line of scrimmage and they're getting drive blocked to oblivion, well, it kind of goes to figure that, hey, maybe you shouldn't be playing that style of defense anymore. On top of that, the 3-4 defense was becoming in vogue, and linebackers who were basically shielded from being blocked by offensive linemen because of large defensive linemen, particularly nose tackles, were the flavor of the seasons during the time that Landry was coaching the Cowboys in a way that wasn't acceptable to Dallas Cowboys fans around the world. So basically, Jerry Jones felt that the best move was the unquestionably most controversial move in his entire time as owner of the Dallas Cowboys. Jerry Jones fired Tom Landry. And not only did Jerry Jones fire Tom Landry found out about it on television. And he found out about it not just on television, but just after he, if memory serves, were playing golf. That's right, he didn't get a direct phone call from Jerry Jones saying, hey, by the way, why don't you come to the office and I want to talk to you. That set off a lot of people against Jerry Jones very early on in his time as the Cowboys owner. But Jerry Jones vowed to find a way to create a winner, both on and off the field, from the perspective of financial controls. When Jerry Jones took over the Dallas Cowboys, he said that the Cowboys were losing somewhere in the neighborhood of $1 million a month. That's right, $1 million a month. Excuse me, $1 million a week. Yeah, $1 million a week. It was that bad. And he had to correct the wild spending that was going on and get the organization under control. Then, in the process of doing that, Jerry, who's an entrepreneur at heart and an oil salesman, made deals with different sponsors, a number of them quite innovative for their time, and dramatically increased the amount of revenue the Dallas Cowboys took in, particularly from the local market. Then he hired Jimmy Johnson as his head coach. And Jimmy Johnson was his best friend at Arkansas. Both played for the University of Arkansas. So the people who were already upset, like myself, with Jones for firing Landry were like, oh, you're going to hire your friend. It seems so country bumpkinish and all this. But Jimmy Johnson wasn't just any coach. He was he was head coach of the then national champion Miami Hurricanes. And Jimmy Johnson was not afraid to have an all-black offensive line, including a center, to basically anchor his offense. Now, today you would say, well, what's the big deal in that? The problem is that there are some people who believe that between quarterback and offensive line, there are blacks who didn't have the mental capacity to not only be on the offensive line, but to be the center who basically is the quarterback of the offensive line calling the plays, right? Jerry Jones and Jimmy Johnson changed all that. And not only that, the offensive linemen, his all-black offensive line, were some of the strongest people. He basically built them with nutrition and weight training techniques, and was some of the strongest people on earth, like Larry Allen, who could bench press 760 pounds. And then they created their own smash mouth brand of football. There was not a Cowboy offensive lineman under 310 pounds at one point. And so the Cowboys built this line, and then the other controversial move was Herschel Walker was the star running back. The heir apparent to Tony Dorsett had appeared. That what Jerry Jones and Jimmy Johnson did was they traded Herschel Walker to the Minnesota Vikings for what turned into 7 draft picks. That's right, including defensive tackle Russell Maryland, and built the cornerstone of the early Dallas Cowboys defense under Jerry Jones. And that is what led to their Super Bowl victory against the Buffalo Bills and their numerous trips to the Super Bowl during the 90s. A lot of people laughed at Jerry Jones and Jimmy Johnson, but at the end of the day, both of them got their last laugh. And off the field, in the courtroom, the Cowboys got the last laugh by causing the NFL to improve its sponsorship system and revenue sharing programs in a way that all teams could benefit, but a team like Jerry Jones's Cowboys could be the recipients of their own entrepreneurial genius. Jerry Jones, in a nutshell, took an organization that was fiscally weak but very popular, the Dallas Cowboys, and built it into the organization it is today. Fiscally strong and one of the most popular organizations of its kind in sports on the planet. On the planet. So Jerry Jones is to be congratulated. His place in the Hall of Fame, well established, well deserved, well earned. Congratulations to Jerry Jones, owner of the Dallas Cowboys.